FM and 1050 AM or on kcaaradio.com.
Coming in live from KCAA Studios in Redlands, California, you're listening to The Mo and Joe Show with your hosts, Mauricio Mo Silva and Joseph Joe Marmolejo.
Yo, this is Joseph Joe Marmolejo. I'm your host of The Mo and Joe Show. Mo's gone for the week. It's Friday, the 16th of March. You know, it's been a pretty good March so far. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm a big fan of stout. So everyone's going to be hitting those Irish pubs. Make sure to stay safe. Call an Uber. Call Lyft. You know, don't get a DUI. So we got a very exciting show today. We are going to have a very special guest, Mr. Vic McCorvey. He's a local artist. He has an artist's eye. He's a photographer. Definitely getting his voice heard out there. And then we're also going to be bringing on Jeff Doebler, who's also a photographer. And we're going to find out more about them, who they are, what they're doing, what their mission is, and just really have fun tonight. So this is the Mo and Joe Show, KCAA Radio, 106.5, 1050 AM, 102.3, and KCAA Radio. Don't forget about mojoshow.com. Hey, let's start with the Lakers, though. So Brandon Ingram's been out for the last couple of weeks. Lonzo Ball has been back. He has been balling out. The Lakers have won, I believe it's 21 out of the last 27 games. So they've really they've been pushing it. Since the start of the new year, they have been one of the most consistent teams, especially at home. They lost to the Warriors last night, or a couple nights ago, and right now they're playing the Heat. Live score, 69-69 in the third quarter. I know that Dragic was balling out for the Heat. Let's see, for the Lakers, Julius Randle has 20 points in 27 minutes. Ooh, Heat just scored again. I was watching that game a little while ago. The offense really flows when Lonzo's in. You can really not take away what he has brought to the table. I know scoring, he's not very prolific. He's not being very aggressive, but everything else, he's a very well-rounded player. Offense, defense, he's long. He is able to go out there and run with both two guards and one guards. You know, Lakers have a bright future in him. One of the things I'm most interested in is how well Randle's been playing lately. Since he's been inserted in the starting lineup, he has been balling out. Man, Julius Randle this season, he's really what we drafted him to be. From the University of Kentucky, he broke his leg in that first season, but he's averaging 15.7 points per game now, 7 rebounds a game. And, you know, he's just really been improving game to game, week to week, trying to earn himself a... Ooh, what's that noise? He's trying to earn himself a really big contract in the offseason, and the Lakers have a decision to make. Paul George and LeBron, or one of those two and Randle. You know, if they could ship Luol Deng's giant contract and a couple picks, they might be able to give a contract to Randle and pick up Paul George and LeBron. But, you know, it's all wishes. Lakers have been in this place before. I've seen a couple polls where most fans really want them to try to keep the young core of Ingram, Kuzma, Ball, Randle, all of them together and see where they develop. So, in other news, Kevin Durant was announced to fracture a rib today. He's out for 2 weeks. It means Curry, Clay, and Durant are out. Green was out when they played the Lakers, and I don't know if AI played. But the Warriors... Looks like the karma bug has bit them. Their first playoff series, when they won in 2015, they did not face a starting point guard in the playoffs. All injury-ridden teams that they faced. So, you know, the karma bug a couple years later has finally caught up. We'll see how they finish out the season. I'm pretty sure they're just focused on May and June. And Villanova was upset today. The first number 1 team ever to go down. I cannot believe that. So the University of Maryland, Baltimore County is the first ever 16 seed to beat a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Retrievers stunned top overall seed Virginia 74-54 in the first round action of the South Region in Charlotte. Entering this game, number 1 seeds were 135-0 all time since the field expanded to 64 teams in 1985. So it was a pretty good game. Jarius Lyles from Maryland, Baltimore County really led the charge, and they really put a whooping on Villanova. When I saw that score update on my phone, I was like, whoa, how'd that happen? So let's hear what Julius Lyles has to say about the special win.
Well, of course, we just made history tonight, and it's always exciting to make history. I don't think it's really sunk in yet for us, but it's a very exciting moment for us and UMBC especially.
Yeah, so that's pretty special right there. UMCB head coach Ryan Odom on the historic win.
Obviously, historic game, for UMBC. Unbelievable. So proud of these kids. I take so much joy in watching them smile and not just at the end there, but throughout the game.
So it's been a crazy year so far. Arizona has already gone down. Now you have Virginia going down. I did not expect that. A lot of brackets have been busted. So the Texans are looking to add Tyrann Mathieu, and it's been a crazy week with the free agency going on. The contract given to Cousins was ridiculous by the Vikings. But I'm a Raider fan, and I'm really interested to see why or how Jordy Nelson works out. I'm not sure how much better or an improvement he is from Crabtree. He's 2 years older and kind of injury prone. So we'll see where that works out. But I'm excited to see this. Excited to see what the Browns do with the draft, too. They have the 1st and 4th overall pick. So we'll see what they do because they've really been making some moves right now. Picked up Tyrod Taylor, the Virginia Tech quarterback from the Bills, and they picked up Jarvis Landry, the receiver, and Carlos Hyde, the running back. So we'll see what they can do. And they sold TJ Carey from the Raiders. But, this has been the Mo and Joe Show on KCAA Radio. We're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, we're going to be bringing on our very special guests, Vic McCorvey and Jeff Doebler. Keep tuning in on 106.5, 1050 AM, and 102.3 KCAA Radio.
What about us? What about all the times you said you
Pink and Ed Sheeran are among a number of pop superstars set to appear on an upcoming Elton John tribute album. Representatives for the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer announced the album revamp will also include Lady Gaga, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, and Sam Smith, among others, reinterpreting some of John's biggest hits. A second tribute album titled Restoration will feature country acts covering John. Both will be available April 6th.
Oh, tell me you love me.
Demi Lovato is celebrating a major personal milestone of 6 years of sobriety without drugs and alcohol. The Tell Me You Love Me singer tweeted the good news, saying she's grateful for another year of joy, health, and happiness. The pop star has been very open and vocal about her struggles with addiction and her treatment for bipolar disorder, bulimia, self-harm, and substance abuse.
Must be love on the brain.
Rihanna is ripping Snapchat over a controversial ad that referenced the physical abuse she received from her ex-boyfriend, Chris Brown. The ad, which has since been taken down, promoted a Would You Rather game that offered 2 choices, slapping Rihanna or punching Brown. Rihanna said on Instagram that the ad would bring shame to domestic violence victims and made a joke out of abuse. She closed by writing, "Shame on you." That's entertainment. Lisa G., NBC News Radio.
We'll be right back to
The Mo and Joe Show
on KCAA Radio.
Americans are still whistling that happy tune. And those with the least cheered up the most. The new Consumer Sentiment Index from the University of Michigan is at a 14-year high, 102. That's up from 99.7 last month, and most economists thought it would slip a little. All the increase in optimism was among those in the bottom third of incomes. But the housing industry isn't so happy. Both housing starts and permits to build in the future fell in February. The Commerce Department says starts were down 7%, permits 5.7%, although a huge 26% drop in starts on apartments and other multifamily buildings dragged down that total. Starts on single-family homes actually increased about 3%. If you're going to an open house this weekend, be careful what you do and say. You might be on candid camera. More sellers and realtors are setting up surveillance.
The trend is becoming so common that even the National Association of Realtors is issuing guidance on its website, educating their agents with videos and information. So is it spying or just a natural progression in the hyper-connected world we live in?
It's something that I have gotten used to, and it's just kind of the norm.
Some agents, like Carrie Haynes, now have a clause in their contracts alerting sellers to the laws when it comes to surveillance.
What are the reasons why a seller would want to listen to everything that somebody's saying?
Well, they're nosy. Isn't everybody nosy?
And when you heard that this was happening, you probably saw the pros and cons immediately.
Yeah, I did. I was offended at first, but then when on the other side, when I was representing the seller, I thought, this is a good idea.
Because you have so much information.
Oh, absolutely.
NBC's Gaddy Schwartz reporting. Another reason for consumers being generally happy, a lot of jobs out there. The Labor Department reports a record 6.3 million jobs were listed as open in January. 5.6 million of those jobs were filled. That's about the same number as December. And 5.4 million left their jobs for one reason or another, also unchanged. Most of them quit. Consumer and Business News. Joe McConnell, NBC News Radio.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email CEO@kcaaradio.com.
KCAA. Hi, this is Sal Tuzzolino, host and ringmaster of the Sports Circus, the big top of sports talk radio. Did you hear this?
They filled a swimming pool full of Jell-O. And people could pay to watch Gary and I dive into this pool of Jell-O. And he and I raised $100,000 doing that.
That's hilarious. Clown around with us and stream the show online at thesportcircus.com. Join us on 1050 AM, 106.5, and 102.3 FM. Saturday mornings at 8 on the trifecta of Talkin' Sports, KCAA.
For several days, you've been craving a juicy, tender steak. So, it's time to satisfy that craving at Tony's Spunky Steer Restaurant. Tony's is located in the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands. At Tony's, you'll have top-notch service and feast on some of the best-tasting prime sizzler steaks in the Inland Empire. The Tri-City Center is located just off I-10 between Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Make Tony's Spunky Steer your dining destination for that special occasion, or if you just want a great steak.
Know your rights and responsibilities. You're a hardworking student. You've grown up here. You're striving and working towards the American dream. You're a dreamer and maybe you need to renew your DACA deferral. Now is the time to take action. On January 9th, the District Court ordered a halt to President Trump's efforts to terminate the deferred action for childhood arrivals or DACA. And now the Department of Homeland Security is now accepting DACA renewal applications. Now you can get free DACA renewal assistance from the Todek Legal Center. The Todek Center may also provide you with payment assistance with up to $495 in immigration fees to renew. Stay here, stay home, stay with your family. You're valued, loved, wanted, and needed. Get free legal screening and consultation, application assistance and legal representation. For more info, search todec.org. That's TODEC.org. Or call for upcoming workshops at 951-943-1955. That's 951-943-1955 for the Todek Legal Center. And dream on.
KCAA.
Thanks for listening
to the Mo and Joe Show
here on KCAA Radio,
the stations that leave no listener behind. Yo, this is the Mo and Joe Show. Hey, so you're tuned in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listeners behind. So, this is the Mo and Joe Show. I'm flying solo tonight, but I actually do have some very special guests here. I'm going to introduce them, Victor McCorvey and Jeff Doebler. I can't hear you. You're turning your...
Oh, hello?
All right, I hear Dobe.
Oh, what's going on?
Vic, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
A little bit. You there?
Yep.
Wait, test.
Test.
All right, there it is.
Good.
Hey, so this is the Mo and Joe Show. Victor, do you want to give a little introduction, say who you are? Just a little background.
Yeah, Victor McCorvey, based out of Upland, California. I'm a photographer.
I'm Jeff Doebler. I'm also in Upland, California. I am a photographer as well. Yeah, just photographer at the moment.
Okay, how long you been doing photography for, Jeff?
I'd say it's been maybe 2 to 3 years. It was a very gradual transition to photography. I just liked this idea that you can kind of share your perspective on the world through a photo. So I just kind of, had this gradual transition into photography. There's really just wasn't a starting point. It just kind of happened,
What were the first subjects you started taking photos of?
Well, I think symmetry is one thing. I really like the, if you look at an image and, it's very symmetrical. That's something that I think is, a very interesting thing to look at. Also architecture, symmetry and architecture, those two things combined, actually, that's one thing I really like to take pictures of. I'm starting to get into portraits, take portraits of people, put them in different environments, however they want to look or whatever, just kind of, people want to see themselves in an interesting light sometimes, so sometimes they might want somebody to take a photo of them, I don't know, just look a certain way, present themselves a certain way.
It's interesting that you brought up both symmetry and architecture, because I went and Facebook stalked a little bit, just checked out because I know I had seen some photos throughout the years on your Facebook. So I was showing my sister the other day because she's a photographer. I'm a photographer too, and we were checking it out, and that was the most compelling pictures you had, was some giant buildings over there in Europe, some of the architecture over there in Europe, and you could definitely, that was the first thing I noticed, was how the lines were all shaped, where they were all going. You used a lot of the elements of photography very well and applied them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It's just really pleasing on the eye, It's just, you see this and it's just like, oh, it's just so uniform, and, it's just very pleasing. It's not sporadic and, things all over the place. So I think simplicity is my main thing with photography. Just keeping it simple, easy to look at.
And Vic, what got you into photography?
I got in about 5 months ago, and he actually got me into it. He has a camera, so we went out one time and we were just taking pictures. He let me use it, and that's what got me into it, really. So for Christmas, I got me a new camera. So I've just been practicing, going out with him, doing different photo shoots, doing different shows and stuff. Got more photo shoots coming up, so that's really what got me started, just hanging out with him.
All right, what kind of camera do you got?
Canon Rebel T6.
Okay. And you do?
I got a Rebel T5.
Yeah. I have a EOS 60.
EOS 60, and that's a Canon, right?
Yeah.
What's yours? EOS what?
Rebel T6.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a 60. It's a little bit more.
Oh, it's EOS 60. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a gift. Yeah, well, I'm on loan, kind of.
Yeah, you really have to know the thing with photography. It's really it's mostly a big part of it that people don't know when they get into it is it's equipment. Like you need the equipment, and it's a lot of money for a lot of these lenses. And if you want to be professional, you got to start. You got to be able to spend money on all these lenses and all these cameras, all these equipment. It's a big.
It's about the
materialistic,
eye too. Yeah. It's a lot about the eye.
The eye too. No, it's both of those. Yeah, it's
that
and the eye.
Best equipment all you want, but if you don't got the eye, it's not gonna work out.
No, yeah, definitely.
It's a balance of both. When I hear about the eye, I think of Get Out, when that blind dude was talking to him. I want your eye.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's a balance of both. There's definitely some of the best photos I took were some of this old Canon 30D I have, and. Old camera, old lens, but I just love the photos that I took on there. They just seem, I don't know. It's like you said, it's with the eye, but at the same time, I know that the consistency of my photography picked up when I got a better camera.
Yeah.
It's another thing.
It's crazy how a camera, if you think about how a camera works, always, how it just captures just everything with simple lights and shutters and just how you get this image. I don't know. I think a lot of just cameras, I don't know, I just think technology is interesting.
Yeah, it gives you a different aspect on life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
images, it's just cool.
I think so. When I first got into photography, I used to take a lot of pictures in high school, just messing around with my phone and stuff. But my sister got me a job right out of high school to go work at a photography studio, and I was doing senior portrait, or not even senior portraits, high school IDs. So just point, shoot. You have the whole setup, have the lighting set up. So that was the first introduction to lighting and actual professional photography. Yeah. So I would do that over summers throughout college, and then maybe about my junior year. No, I got a GoPro right when I first went up to Humboldt, and I would use my GoPro a lot. But that's just point and shoot. But when I started working for the football team, I would use my GoPro and then get some awesome photos. They ended up letting me use the iPad too, and I ended up buying an iPad. And the iPad's camera is amazing. So I'd go in there and just take some just pretty good pictures of the players standing around, some drills during practice. There was they did the challenge, the ALS ice bucket
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took some cool photos of my GoPro in slow motion, and I had like the water coming out. You can see all the reflection of the water. So that was like really the first time where I started like venturing off on my own and being like, okay, I could do this. This is fun.
Yeah.
And my sister ended up letting me borrow that 6D, and I just took that for the last year and had a lot of fun. Go and shoot different events that were going on up there. I would do some photojournalism for one of the papers around and go to basketball games and rugby games and shoot. You like videography too?
Videography is actually something that I wanted to get into when I was really little. I had a real love for cinematography. I would my favorite part about films, because I'm a huge film guy, is just camera angles and how the director presents the image in the film. I have this. So
you're a Zack Snyder fan?
Yeah. Well, not narratively.
Not narratively,
no. Yeah, but visually, yes, most definitely. Another guy that is really good is Quentin Tarantino's good. There's another guy who, I can't say his name, but the guy that did The Revenant.
Ooh.
That was one of the best cinematography I've ever seen. That was great.
Hispanic name.
It's a long name. Yeah, I forgot where he's from, but he's great. His cinematography is fantastic. And I'm just saying, I don't know. Oh, it's talking close to the mic. I don't even know if he does the cinematography. I'm not sure. I'm just talking about the cinematography in that film. It was great cinematography.
Alejandro Inarritu.
Yeah, good.
Inarritu?
I have no idea. The fact that it's like you don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
and then the cinematography was done by Emmanuel Lubusky.
All right.
Lubusky? I don't know.
Thumbs up, Emmanuel. Thumbs up, Emmanuel.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love that movie because it was completely filmed in natural daylight.
Yeah.
There's no artificial light.
Oh, there's no artificial. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Interesting tidbit about that movie. I knew that going in, so I was just like watching and like looking for the little pieces here and there that could give you clues.
Yeah. There's a lot of one angle shot, not one angle shot, but there's a number of shots that were done in one shot. Where like the camera's moving and it doesn't swap in between one scene. Like, it's just one shot. It's all done in one shot. Those are really hard to do. And there was one in The Revenant. It was in the very beginning. Takes a lot of
discipline.
Yeah. And there was one in The Revenant, and it was in the very beginning, and it was like 5 minutes. It was really long, and there's just like props off to that scene. That was art right there. That was fantastic.
So this is the Mo and Joe Show. I'm Joseph Marmolejo. I'm here with Victor McCorvey and Jeffrey Doebler. We're talking about photography, videography, just visual art right now. So, Vic, what are your favorite subjects? Like to photograph.
Photograph? Really music. So like anything in the music aspect, whether it's artists working in the studio, at the show, really. One of my biggest inspirations is Brock Mills, and that's Dave East's photographer, a rapper from New York. So yeah, seeing his photos, that's something that really inspired me. So music is really something that I'm into. Music, nature, of course, symmetry, just like Jeff.
All right, I respect that. Yeah. You like capturing people like in the moment when they're doing music and stuff.
Exactly.
It's really interesting. There's some of my favorite photos I've seen are like people playing the guitars and just being able to get the, what is it, the neck of the guitar? What do you call it?
The long part.
The long part of the guitar.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have all the strings going in a certain direction. Like, I think those are some of the best pictures. I actually, I don't know if you've heard of the Donkeys. They're like an alternative rock band out here. Not even alternative rock. They're like, I don't know how to explain them. Let me look them up real quick. They came up to Humboldt and they did a concert, and I went to go do a story on them. So I took some pretty good photos. And I went with a really bad camera, no flash, in a dark room, and I was right up on them, and it took so much editing to go in there and to be able to put out some light. But there were some of my favorite pictures just because everything's black around them, and you just focus in on the artist. And you could tell he's not looking at the camera, doesn't care about that. He's just focused on what's going on. He's intense in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a couple photos like that going to shows, and those have really just been my favorite, just the ones that's in the moment. That's the best photo.
Yeah, even when you're taking portrait shots, you don't want people to
be looking directly at the camera.
Yeah, you don't want them to. You want them to be in their moment. You never want them to be like. It depends on the shot, but for the most part, people being in the moment. That's the most important part with taking portraits.
You said you just got into portrait photography. What What type? Give us some examples of what you've shot so far.
Well, a lot of the shots I've done have been at shows. Other portraits, though, it's more of just...
Have you gone out? I actually, you took Victor's or Vic's shot.
Yeah, I'll take some pics.
Right?
I'll take some pics of Vic. He'll take some pics of me. It's really just somebody will come up and they'll probably, they'll either somebody will maybe request a shot, and it's really whatever they want, as long as it's not too extreme, But it's really just take a photo of however the person that wants the photo taken, and just do that task. So yeah, it's just really the portrait shots that I've taken. It's very broad, just of portrait shots. This is not, maybe just somebody. There's not much, honestly. Just a few here and there, because I'm just getting into it right now. For the most part, it's actually much different from just taking pictures of like structures.
Oh, it is.
Pictures of people. It's much different, So it's like I'm learning about it right now. I'm not an expert at all in it, but it's just
Come over to my house soon and talk to my sister. Should chat with her. She's been doing photography for 15 years now. She started at Aaron Brothers doing cutting portraits, and then she got into it. She was like, "Oh, I want to try this out." I think she took a couple classes in high school, and she really loved it. And she has her own company right now. She does just candid portraits, all that jazz. But she also does photo booths. She sets up a whole open air photo booth for events and stuff.
Okay.
So she has 3 setups actually, and she's been hustling. She's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Shout out to CMP Photography, one of the friends of the Mo and Joe show. But yeah, come pick her brain.
Yeah,
she showed me everything I know.
Most definitely, yeah. I'm always down to learn something.
Last summer in 2016, I was working for a photography studio out here, and I was doing senior portraits. So it was my first time going out on my own and doing senior portraits. So for the most part, it was like 3 photographers set up in a room taking pictures, 15-minute sessions with each kid. You're doing sales, you're doing photography, you're doing lighting, you're doing so much stuff in that little time. But there was a time where we were up at Silverado High School up in Victorville, and they had me do the substitute week. So I was there for a full week, and then they made me go up a second week again. And I got a lot of time to just play around and learn how to do the lighting, learn how to change the lighting, influence it. I had one of my good friends come in. He's a rapper from up north, Colton Sanchez. Shout out to Ace on Red. He'd come up, and I took some pretty awesome photos with the lighting. We're being able to get the shadows, darken his face. The whole background is black. The colors that he's wearing was so bright and vibrant. They were just popping out. I'll show you some of them after. They're pretty awesome. And if you ever, like I said, just want to mess around, we got all that studio lighting at my house.
Yeah, so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely willing to step it up,
Same to you, Vic. Let's go through. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
I like that hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's new.
Yeah, it's new. It looks new. It looks fresh.
Yeah, I got it from my mom for my birthday last week.
You like how they're playing right now?
Yeah, they've been playing pretty good right now.
It's pretty exciting to watch the players develop. That's why I watch.
You're a Laker fan?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, of course. Definitely a Laker fan.
I remember when your name was T'Challa on Twitter for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Black Panther fan, too. Yeah.
Oh, what do you like about the Lakers right now? You said the youth?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's interesting to watch players develop. We got a lot of young players, and a lot of them, they could be potential superstars. So it's really interesting to me to, watch that development,
From year to year, you get to see the growth.
Yeah,
of
you
each
definitely
player.
see it. Yeah, you definitely see it. I think Ingram's picking up. Randall is picking it up. Lonzo
picking it up.
Yeah, it's Lonzo, though. There's a problem with Lonzo.
You got to be more aggressive, man.
Yeah, I think Lonzo's problem is he's distracted. His attention is divided. He's just got a lot going on. He's not putting full work into basketball.
We got a bunch of guys who don't want to take the ball to the rim. We have him who don't want to be aggressive. Him, Ingram, they all play with that flow of the game. If they have a good game and the game is flowing their way, they're going to be lights out. They're going to be killer.
Yeah.
Ice in their veins.
Yeah.
But they're not going to take a game by the horns and just run with it. It's not their style.
No, it's not, yeah.
And it wasn't Randall's style until this year. Now he's a bulldog down there in the paint.
He's bullying people. He's pushing people around. He's got such strength.
Yeah, people are saying Randolph, but he's got way better defense than Randolph out too. I heard somebody said, I think it was Mike Trudell from ESPN, said claimed that Randall is one of the best interior defenders in the NBA right now.
Interior defenders.
Yeah, in the post.
I think so.
That's a bold statement.
That is a bold statement.
I mean, he's up there, I'll say, because there's not too many fierce rim protectors, but I mean, he might be up there.
There's not a lot of fierce. No,
yeah, and I mean, if you can learn how to shoot with his right, which we've been saying for 4 years, that dude is going to be a monster.
Yeah.
If he can learn to shoot with his right?
Yeah, he's left-handed, and all he does is to the left.
I didn't even know that.
Dominant.
Never seen that. No, that's interesting.
But I mean, Ball has the same problem, that shooting stroke. So he brings it up right-handed to the left of his face.
It's actually, I've done it before. It's actually very practical.
It's practical.
You just go like this. It's honestly.
There's a weird spin on the ball that it gets. I watched the sports science on it.
Yeah, it's actually a very it's a very quick and effective shot. Actually, it's he could be like ahead of the game when it comes to jump shots.
Vic, you remember Kevin Fergoso?
Yeah, I do.
That shot.
Yeah,
it's similar.
He did have a shot like that.
I see it. I just think of that.
What was that shot like?
He went to my career. He shot just like Lonzo. Yeah, he did.
I knew somebody in 7th grade. His shot. So you meet people who have these weird.
It may have been the same guy because I played on the team with him in 7th grade, and he had the same shot then.
Really? They just don't change the shot?
Yeah.
He was nice though.
It was nice. He'd carry a team.
I knew this guy in 7th grade that had a shot where he would double tap the ball. He wouldn't even like throw it up. He would just like toss it up with one arm and then hit it in with the other hand.
So this is the Mo and Joe Show. We're talking a little Laker talk with Jeff Doebler and Vic McCorvey. What?
I didn't say nothing.
On KCAA Radio. So, I'm really excited about this Lakers team. What do you think they should do for next year?
Oh. I don't know. I want them to get Zion Williamson, though. 2019.
I don't think that's.
I want that to be the plan. That's what I want. That's my high ambition for the Lakers.
That's not
I don't know about next year. I don't know.
They need to get Melo this offseason.
Melo in the offseason?
Not Carmelo Anthony.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this is just like for real.
Not Melo. Okay, I meant Jello.
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 Nah.
LiAngelo Ball.
He can't ball in the NBA. He can't ball in the NBA. Yeah, I think Melo maybe can.
Get him and then put him over there with Stephon Branch over there on the defenders.
That's crazy. That's crazy seeing some. Dude, that's so. Cool.
I've been trying to get him in here.
That's so cool seeing, dude. That's like I actually get happy like seeing him like in the Lakers. That's really cool seeing somebody like in that position that you knew.
We were at a brewery the other day over here, September's Brewery in Rancho, and we were watching the South Bay Lakers. I think it was versus the Santa Cruz Warriors on screen. Zoom ins on his face and shooting free throws. I was like, damn.
He's good.
I was actually sitting next to Patrick Salter when that was going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what the Lakers got to do. They got to pick up Stephon Branch.
That'd be crazy.
Bring him up from the D League.
Two-way contract.
Now, yep.
Turn it around. Put the team on his back. He's cool, man. He's good. He's got some swift movements. He's very fundamentally sound in basketball.
Talk about growth. I remember like freshman year seeing him, and he was what, 5'6"?
Yeah,
5.
Yeah, he grew a lot.
Yeah, he did grow.
Now he's like 6'5".
Late bloomer. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 6'5". Yeah. Wow. That's tall.
Something like that.
That's tall.
He seemed way taller than that. I just seen him at one of our shows. It was like January 3rd, the first show. I don't think he was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came out. He's pretty tall. He got way bigger since high school. He got way bigger.
Yeah, I was following him on Instagram throughout the years and just people seeing him like dunk at Mount Sac, and then I think he went to like somewhere in Georgia and he was killing it out there.
Yeah.
Oh wow. He went to Georgia? Somewhere in Georgia?
Somewhere in Georgia.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did say like Southern Georgia?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Somewhere in Georgia. I have no idea. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Basketball I've always been into basketball.
I remember you were a little baller in high school, unexpectedly.
Well, I played
nice.
basketball. I played basketball before I played football. But then when I started playing football, it's just like I lost my handles and my jump shot, and then I tried to play basketball after football, but after football and MMA, those sports were rough and they really kind of tore down my body, so I'm having to build that back up and play basketball again.
All right. Give some insight. You used to be huge back in the day. Like you were like Tom Hardy, Bane big.
Oh, yeah, it was just all just to look good. I wasn't in a mature mindset. I don't know. I thought if my arms were any less than 18 inches in diameter, then that means I wasn't a man. I wasn't thinking rational. I don't know. I was
going
too
into the weight room. You're over there benching
myself, man.
325.
I had to make sure that like when I was benching at the gym, I had to make sure people were watching, and I would wear these weird outfits that just made me look like a superhero in the gym. I don't know. It's just I worked out for the wrong reasons.
At least you realize it.
Yeah.
At least you realize
it. Yeah. It's a phase. It's all a phase. Everything's a phase. You just go through phases in life, and that's just you adapting to reality. you know.
Yeah.
Just going through these phases. I'm just adapting.
I like that. Oh, we're all just growing up. Isn't it crazy? We're at this age right now, mid-20s almost.
Yeah, it's wild.
Vic, when's your birthday? This week, right?
No, not this week. March 29th.
March 29th? All right.
Mid-20s.
Like 2
Happy
weeks.
early birthday.
When is it?
Appreciate it. March 29th.
March 29th? We're in March. Wow, dude, that's this month. Man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You never told me your birthday.
I thought so. I thought I did.
No.
We just talked about this.
No, we didn't.
We talked about going to Vegas.
For your birthday?
Yeah.
I don't remember that conversation.
So this is the Mo and Joe Show. We're here with Jeff Doebler and Vic McCorvey. I'm Joseph Joe Marmaleo on KCAA Radio, KCAA NBC Radio, the stations that leave no listener behind. So, what's your outlook on the next couple months, next couple years, Vic?
As far as photography?
As far as photography or your other plans as well?
Other plans, I'm trying to start this YouTube podcast and vlog also. So photography is just the gateway, but I mean, that's obviously one of my hobbies, but that's just the gateway to get everything else started. So hopefully get that podcast and the vlog popping.
What would it be about?
Everything. I'm trying to get sports, news, politics, music, of course. That'd be the main thing. That's what I'm going to take care of, but...
Would it be the same entity, the vlog, or would it be a vlog is something a different, and then you would do your podcast separately, or would you do them together?
Nah, it'd be separate. I wouldn't want all the same topics. That's a big demographic to try to get a hold of. But yeah, just everything separate. Have different hosts and stuff. Just bringing everything, everybody, all the IE creators together, and just pushing everything like that. Just a social media or a media platform, basically.
All right.
So I'm trying to get that started.
I feel that. And what's up with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking pictures right now, but I'm also my main thing is I'm trying to.
I just lift things up and put them down.
I'm trying to do some podcasts as well. It just seems like an interesting thing to do. I feel like there's always interesting things to talk about.
You listen to Joe Rogan?
Yeah, and that's my approach. I was telling Victor if I had a podcast, it'd be a lot like Joe Rogan.
That's what I took this one on. Like that's the vibe I was trying to push today.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. There's a lot of abstract ideas out there and a lot of interesting things. Like I don't know. Just to kind of my podcast though. Like I think debates are very interesting. I think arguments are very interesting. Have two different psyches have. A different perspective on, a certain phenomena. It's an interesting to see, like, if, a consensus is reached, or just to see different points and see them clash at each other and just try to understand, what they're talking about. It's just, you learn from that. You learn from arguments. And I think just discussions over just weird things, interesting things would be very interesting.
You would definitely want to tune in some more of the shows here at KCA. There's definitely shows that I think will definitely spark some interest in you.
Yeah.
Because right after this, we have Midnight Desert. They talk about different It's located out in Barstow, and they talk about conspiracies. They talk about the Illuminati. They talk about aliens, and it's pretty crazy. And it's just a lot of philosophical stuff, too.
Yeah, philosophical stuff.
Philosophical stuff, my bad.
Stuff, yeah.
They touch a bunch of different topics, and it's every night. So every night it's something different. But you'll be able to tune in a little bit when we're done.
Yeah,
when we wrap it up here.
There's just a bunch of there's something interesting that people are discussing lately. I've had this with Victor. People are actually debating if water is wet.
Are you a flat earther?
I am not a flat earther. No, there's a limit. I think flat earther draws the. I'm open to any kind of conspiracy, but flat earth there's just. Flat earthers seem to have come from. It seems to like somebody was joking about it, and it just seemed to become a fad.
Ran with it.
People just started running with it. Yeah.
What do you think about the Bohemian Club? You heard about that?
The Bohemian Club? No.
Yeah, it's a secret society.
Yeah, up north.
They be doing stuff in the woods.
Oh, what are they doing?
Having secret meetings and stuff.
Yeah, supposedly all the world leaders go up there and meet. Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, so there's not supposedly, Alex Jones actually broke in there in the early 2000s before he was even more crazy. And he got some photography, and different people have gotten some pictures there over the years. There's this giant 40-foot statue of an owl that they all worship. And there's known facts that Reagan was there 20 years before he got elected as president with a bunch of other people with the Bush family and stuff. It's pretty crazy. I had a friend who said that she was a waitress at the club.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they had to like take a sworn oath of silence.
Wait, so how does so how does this information obtained? Like, how do we know these things?
The books. There's a lot of books about it, bro. Like the book that I'm reading, "Behold a White Pearl Horse" by William Cooper. Yeah, he talks about the Bohemian Club. Another book, Esoteric Knowledge. They talk about it too. Yeah.
And all these clubs, they have like their closed. They have their public face and then their closed face. So like they have like offices and stuff out in San Francisco. At least I believe they do. That's how they started out.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, they have a headquarters on Taylor Street in San Fran.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's a private club and there's entry, but their main like getaway spot is up in Northern California. Let me see.
I believe they go to what is it, Switzerland too. Switzerland, they have a lot of meetings up there too.
Monte Rio, California.
The thing is, so they got the Hadron Collider in Switzerland too.
Yeah, Switzerland, they up there.
They're doing things. What's going on in Switzerland, man? There's a lot going on in Switzerland.
But it's pretty crazy. It's a lot of people say that they just get away once a year because I believe it's a once a year thing. That all these like world leaders and industry leaders get away once a year, just mess around and have fun. But a lot of people think there's like some conspiracies going on.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think there were parts of the Manhattan Project were discussed in Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. Manhattan, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things. Vic and I, we always talk about conspiracies.
We were just talking.
Which one was
it? I'm throwing back to Twitter back in the day. You two would always be sharing different conspiracies.
No,
Vic would be talking about different stuff that a capital Steve would be saying.
Yeah, you used to always talk about that. Learn not to do that though.
Indigoism.
Yeah. Keep that off of social media.
Yeah, arguments on social media are not. You're just dancing with the pig.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna piss the pig off trying to make it dance, and you're gonna upset yourself. I'm not seeing the pig dance.
You be mad because they're not understanding it, but something not everybody can grasp.
Esoteric knowledge. Esoteric knowledge.
Yeah, so I'm really glad to see both you guys have such a big interest in like media and all this.
Yeah.
So
from you.
Yeah, it gotta. Hey, we have all these tools. Why not get your voice out?
Yeah, no, I mean it's super easy. Not super easy. I'm sorry, but it's just like everybody has the ability to like. Yeah, you're right. You have all these tools. Yeah, all the tools are. Even all the information is there.
And I have the Adobe Creative Cloud or Creative Suite, and every month I just see it rack up, and every month I'm mad at myself. I'm going to cancel it, but in reality, I should just go in there and start creating.
Yeah, you know how to use the Adobe Creative Cloud? Wait, so Creative Cloud that has
everything.
All
so I know how to use Photoshop.
Lightroom, there's Lightroom.
Lightroom, Photoshop, Bridge between them.
Bridge is good to know. Yeah,
Illustrator and a little bit.
We got Adobe Premiere too.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good at Premiere. After Effects, I haven't messed around with it, but I have it. If you guys ever want to mess around.
There's Dreamweaver as well.
There's Dreamweaver. I have like Adobe Spark Post on my phone, so that's pretty cool.
What's that one?
It just lets you like go and create flyers and stuff on your phone, but you could just get any photos and add text and all that. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, see, these are like tools,
Yeah.
Like anybody can use these. Anybody can teach themselves to use anything anyways.
My nephew Bob, he's 10, and if you know Bob, he's a real special kid. He actually produces his own YouTube videos. He probably has like 60. Now? Yeah. What? Follow him, bro. He's got, I think he updated me today, 94 subscribers. Yeah, he's just producing a bunch of plush videos. He plays with plushes and adds voices and stuff.
Yeah, I used to do stop motion when I was a kid. Like I would take a picture of an action figure and then I'll move it and I'll take another picture and I'll put all those images together and I'll create this stop motion film. I used to do that as a kid a lot, and I actually upload a lot to YouTube. But then I took the channel down. I don't know why. But yeah.
Haters.
Yeah. Yeah. Just haters. They weren't liking this. Yeah. But yeah, that was a hobby of mine.
I would always shoot, but I would never like edit stuff together because all that editing, it all seemed so complex back then.
Yeah, Jeff was good at it. He showed me a video.
But he sits there, Bob sits there and he edits, and this latest video he had, because you talked about growth with the Lakers earlier. Talking about growth about his videos. Before it was shaking, moving around, like in his first couple. Now he has like different scenes or outside in the front yard. He adds in like a voice changer sometimes to make his voice different, like an app on his phone.
Yeah.
He'll go and he'll download or listen and record a bunch of songs from different like fan-made videos, and then add those songs to his. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the editing is
for a 10-year-old kid that's on the spectrum. It's awesome.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's killing it.
Oh.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's
follow it. FNAF Plush Productions. About Bob, if that's what he wants. He wants me to give him a shout out like that.
I would definitely follow him. Shout out to Bob.
I think he had a kid from China. She gave him a shout out the other day in a video. It's crazy.
China.
Yeah.
How long has he been doing it?
5 months, maybe.
5 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a little, not a GoPro, but it's like called a Cross Tour. It's like a GoPro, but it's like $50 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So he has one of those and an iPad. So he just does everything on iMovie.
Yeah, you said it was a 10-year-old.
Yeah, 10-year-old.
All these kids, they grow up with these iPads.
The Heat beats the Lakers.
They all have these. Heat beat the Lakers. We'll score.
Yeah. 92-91. Goran Dragic had 30 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Randall had 25 and 12.
25 and 12, man. Damn, that was too close, man. Really
short.
I mean, they're not really playing for much right now other than to look good.
Yeah.
For that growth. Yeah. And Heat are a pretty good playoff team. What are they, 5th seed in the East right now?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Oh. Yeah. Dwayne Wade's doing good.
I just played a game of 2K against my brother. I was the Heat and he was the Lakers. Boring team to play with.
I haven't played 2K in months.
Yeah, we found out that NBA Live is way better than 2K.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No, you were the biggest proponent of getting people to switch from NBA Live to 2K in high school, Vic.
That man, people sleep on NBA Live. I know it took its downfall, but
I used to only play NBA Live. 2K was trash, and then like 2K12 came around and they stopped making NBA Live, and everyone's like, "You got to get 2Ks."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
2K did get better though. I mean, Live it took a fall after 09. It was trash.
So the new lives are good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This one is. Last year was pretty good. They still had its flaws, but they made a lot of changes on this.
It's got more of an arcade feel to it.
Okay.
In a sense, I mean, it's more realistic to me.
To me, it feels more like a game.
I'll rent it on like Redbox soon.
Redbox. Okay, so never mind.
Hey, we got about a minute left.
Oh wow, okay.
It was great having y'all. Maybe we could do it again pretty soon.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely got to link up again soon. Stay tuned for these two.
Thank you.
If they want to find y'all anywhere, where do they find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at WavyVic, and the brand is at @avantgarde_, 2 underscores. It's Avantgarde Collective, actually. Avantgarde Collective _
My Instagram, I'm trying to remember it. I just changed it, actually. I think it's JDOEB_. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's where I put some more photos. So.
We'll get into what a collective is next time, because that's one of my favorite things to ever talk about with guests.
We can do that.
Yeah.
This has been the Mo and Joe Show, KCAA Radio. I'm Joseph Joe Marmolejo. We had Vic McCorvey and Jeff Doebler here. No Mo this week. We'll be back next Friday. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Mo and Joe Show. Tune in next Friday at 9 p.m.
Didn't in the skinny jean wearer, throw for days in the OAA. Boss low, most fools couldn't.
Another night when I talk.